Abisa for some makwa ba uguso a wo share live e wo UTV so na make catch so betimi adjoin social media handles nya UTV Ghana, Facebook and YouTube. Na fe wo adwenche bia na commenter na fe wo dey send na ya kenkan ni nyina e dey ama de hia kese pa ne say ye ni in normal time say the excellency o mampani na adodanko akufuado achi mache no ebre wo mu ehu ye wo se ye ahweye ya we covid ba ye tie bia na ma sesa ye ti studio ha na ma sesa ye ba ha na ma sesa ya na mabonte a na ma sesa ye se ye share mask ye nro ye nsa ye ni akwanche ni nyina so tetentem enso aso dinti besi ne Ghana cases no kwa na eko animu ma hwe kwan so o mampani na ado ana say o mampani dada mahama e ba be hye o mask enye na adwuma no ono so hwe ne ho ene na busuafo o de akwanche na to ahye mra kra ka ho se wanya ye betwe aso enso still yeguso ya ho asodin na ne ya yawe aba ye hwe ba bia ye risk factors ewom high risk areas e bit so be kwa adwom ye po ye bi adwan be lorry station na no na doctor ba ko kaso fanko ho no manadwo okofie na nkofo abo ape so e wo bar station ye fa car e de akọ e de na ma baby ye risky e de na ma baby ye high risk e de na ma baby ye low risk what dada say mpanifo da Ghana Health Service ano che dada say baby ete say e ye nkran ha e say covid cases no do so won nkran ha nti aha de risk ne ye high okwa asante mantama Kumasi de o mampani na nado say greater Kumasi brofo eda na nado o de baaye no wo ho so ye high risk areas nti de na wo say oye na de nkran ne ma ho no e high risk areas and saka Dr. Elom Ochi a member of the COVID-19 response team yeah wo mo ye adwuma Kolebu Teaching Hospital Dr. Fuakuku Dama wo mo sacrifice wo wankwa e de boy ho ban doka no pay ye mo ache mo akwa ba
yeah
so ho ye de ye dwen wo nu nuanom ho nti obi aba apani ebuso mo za wo nu nuanom a mo ho na mo sacrifice mo e de hwe ye no ene ye nuanom mo nya bi o mba ho no mo ho te sen
nyame adom I mean din but nyamiadum and then also if we say because of we are taking the necessary precautions nia ssɛ ye no ye inti I mean utimi edi mbra ne so you are okay to an extent when di mbra ne so nia ye ka sɛ ye no sɛ wanya eno na ede nsunsuan ho edeba but I mean the thing is I refer that is human behavior and that is normal and natural but I mean that is why a teamwork inti say we refer bibia wadamfo and our colleague etimi prompt say eh madamfo anka say wo hohoro wonsa ansa why yes ade we nso won hohoro ye inti wo betimi ahohoro ansa na wakwa na atare na wahye no say wo hye ni sei enso won share ne sa inti ye betimi ahya ma wansa na wakwa na ebia say wo share gloves ansa na waye bibi won ye inti I mean it is a team nose mask no it is not enye fit inti wo betimi afiti ansa wakwa na inti it is a teamwork as far as the healthcare environment is concerned mostly so I think because of that largely we are okay. We are sustained, one by the grace, and then secondly by the science, as far as the application of the necessary precautions are concerned. But
monko phone be so test positive ni nyina echi no.
Yes.
Nti omo so mo say mo manage omo saying.
I mean nti eno so bebre are tested positive. I mean and COVID say ano aye to say ekun aba abrofo e friend wo but sa ekun we no omo a ekun no sesi a enye esojafo eye omo a omo ehwe ya yaresa ene yapomodin so enti omo na ekun enti I mean definitely there will be casualties irrespective of how much protection we take minti there have been casual ebi mu ayare ebi mu enya COVID no bebre atiapo I mean and we have heard in the media say a doctor for Ekuku Dam nine ewu I mean across the country some nurses and so say baako ewu I think that is the report we have so far. Ghana Registered Nursing and Midwives Association ebema update to know what the total fatality is as far as the nursing team is concerned. I mean, definitely, like soldiers, there would be casualties. Into ABACC. But the good news is that a lot more are also recovering. Bebre ayare no, bebre hu ato omo asan aba join the team no ye ku ekono. Enti
enya better cry so when you be hu ato no asan ba enya better ya cry yeti adwumam cry de be ekoba na nkofo ba na omo ko to de be na hu abo. Enti it must take serious courage akukudro pa wo nurse for ne doctor for no because when it ya say Dr. Penny kese Dr. Kise na saying we free mo Professor Ru a free mo na wasan sorry so okọ adwuma uni akukudra doc untumi nye nti mo ya ye bom abaso pa ye bom abaso wo sa akukudro na mo wono pa ne mo yire no mo ma so mo behwe mo sa okọ obu okọ be kase beja na betene fie come do kra obehwe wo ben na de ye nkomo bo we ebe mu say be bi wo na mo kase risk a high risk areas na say so man peni kase o kase obi ekwa ma private burials say betimi ye beti obi wu a ye betimi akosie no be no kra na je say ye nipa 100 pe wedding ni ne ma bi ehu hia se ye be 100 e no kra na wo say ye social distancing nti yenhwe sa risk profiling no obede no hu because nkofo bebe argument especially sorry for no cause ade na mama ye nyina ye nko ye kra de betime social distance after all say dwomfo oko omo kra omo nhye mask mpo bebe kwa omo nhye nso omo kwanti risk no ye kan echesen bebe oko na ye risk anase nipa kra e wo ho no e na omo ye risk anase
Inti one answer me kan wasem no me kan en di kan say COVID no ye nyina ye esua the literature na nia ye nim no abrebia edane abrebia esesa nia ye nim no ende no 6 months ago and 7 months ago in January we did not know inti I mean wo ka bibi enda I mean the situation and the literature nia ye nim no it keeps evolving inti ebi wo hono mo a anapa we na say it's 9 o'clock entom 8 o'clock entom 9 before for ebesanyaba. That is so let us all know that the situation is very fluid. Now you can say risk as far as COVID is concerned say COVID no it is a threat one to human life and then we have also seen say it is a threat also to our socio-economic development. I mean that is one big factor when we are discussing this. Ena etosu mienu no so as I say won say ye ka say bibi e risky a as I say one would be ebia what is the wo ye den ena wo benya ana wo ye den a wo ye den ena wo betimi abo wo ho ban ya wo nkonya sa COVID no so when you are mindful of this you are able to do your own risk profiling na obeka say ebia me call her say it is a danger me call her say there is no danger and now me call her say the danger is little or moderate enti one of the main things are say ye nyina ye hu ene say COVID no wo be ye den na wenya one through talking wo kasa and I say wo sneezing and so wo bowa wo wo ye sa enyoma and also if you are breathing because of the mode of transmission your friend be droplet infection wo kasa enyoma every wenum inti bebre etimi every wenum and then it will be in the air inti na ye say ye nyina ankebe ya ye nche nose mask and any face shield and I yen nose mask because I wish I nose mask now it reduces whatever moves out from your mouth into the environment so it minimizes the risk of infection to say me know why yet has say me machine nose mask but the rule is that say who baby anka ideally me machine media no won so as I say we share nose mask so that I mean the risk of transmission of the virus becomes very minimal or negligible for both of us but I mean you stand a high risk of transmission even though I have a barrier but we are both at risk.
Okay.
Because kasa, I mean, there is an extent to which my barrier can protect me.
Yeah.
So that is
also barrier no so betimi protect me.
But it is advised say and then the protection is at least 99.9%.
Okay.
Then we are all safe. Inti
dog mbacho fa risk no makoma no mu nyina ntumi follow nti first risk na yeden risk factors na obobo so no.
Inti me say the risk factor no e be depend on say it either say baby awo kono.
Okay.
It depends on what you are going to do, the activity that is happening in the place. Baby awo kono e dey na ye wo ho.
Okay.
Baby awo kono nkrofo dodo sen e na wo ho. So these are a few things that you take into consideration. And sana say we be free fear, we free fear. And your own, what is your own level of protection as far as your exiting your household is concerned? What you say?
Nti fa na mako number 1 baby awo kono. Place na awo kono. Nti what should be the level of protection baby awo kono? Say COVID ya be o ko market, o ko jom, o ko asori, o ko aye. What should be near my was looking out for place no. Asana ya ba adekra wo koye ne aba enkrofo a uko share monti place na nkasa no. Dia ne risk factors wo place no.
Okay.
Open place and a closed place and
excellent. Inti say baby a wo ko assuming say wo ko market. Ohun say market enkrofo bebre e wo honom. Nia COVID empe eye crowd. Inti na ye say one of the precautions to take to reduce the risk of infection physical distancing and social distancing. Say ankebe ya identity yemu. So that na amayenfa ye ho enkeka ye ho. Because se wo ben me na se me kasa na se me nhye bibia. It is easy for that droplet infection
to fall on you.
To get to you. And it is easy for you to breathe whatever aerosol. Media gumuno. Inti ankasebe ya ye ntwitwe ye ho ye ma ekwanda ye ntem. Inti na say o call market. Can we ensure that level of physical distance? Me mpe social distance no because physical, it's physical distance
nipa nankasa
yentem so that it reduces the risk of infection as far as our contacts are concerned.
Nti pacho ko ba bi ti say market na wo hwe na nipa wo bro 100 a ne papa mu a menko
inti ye ntimi so nka say anka mema ye enko market but there is another layer of protection. Yebeka say okay, if it is very necessary say wo be ko dwemu a no problem, but say wo ko dwemu a at least fa wo sanitizer kuta never wo nose mask neshe so that say wo koto ebia wo koto brode anase bayre ye de mawa ususom
ampo Nkuma kra de me mato ade hodwom na ase aso afi na obi be miemia ni nyina na obi atache a na ko keke
inti ye de mawo na wusomu a na entem na wo de wo sanitizer apepa wonsa sanitizer nenso ye wo various types of sanitizer enye sanitizers ni nyina e na
eke do ko de hwe photo yi o de wa hwe photo yi
we de
we market o am say baby kaneshi market no sense makola
inti say scenes like this you know it is very worrying. Scenes like this, you know, It's ideally because we and a COVID MP. And I wish we munso a bebre and share nose mask.
There be
bebre. We a beach. This is a very high risk area. Or a very high risk environment because bebre and share nose mask. Bebre, I mean there is zero or very little physical distancing that is happening amongst us. When we say another type,
political party,
our political parties, this is also a very deadly
in fact, there video be one of the independent candidates, Nra, and then Sakra Kwaye rally anajo. Ewa Asin area ho.
Okay.
Anajo no Kwaye rally.
I mean, so
any party tires to say yeah.
These are very and oben who bebre and say nose mask. The level of protection is virtually zero to negligible. aha
inti ne papa mu a wo free fie no wo bibi ta menko ho
and ye be ya menko ho wo de hwe wo TV so
sa
aha wo tina fie na wa hwe wo TV so na waje na waje wa home I mean otherwise
aha we asen de no independent candidate ono anhye mask
ni pakra okasa no onhye mask
but nkofo ni bi shebi ebi mo shebi
inti ebi mo shebi but bebrain so enhye and another thing about COVID say wo pia I mean ye free bi comorbidity say ebi a wo yare we are diabetic we are hypertensive inti all of these will affect your level of risk and your level of protection inti anka ye say be na say wo diabetes wo hypertension wo sickle cell disease ana yare bia wo anka men ube pia mempie unless it is very necessary and as a wo pia na wa share wo nose mask no and then you take all those maximum precautions before you step out otherwise I mean you endanger yourself as far as your risk of getting infected to the virus or to the disease is concerned.
Nti afa yenko activity at the crawl o ko baby a risk factors be at the crawl mo koye no ho e de ne enema a wotum se mo ye particular thing bi a e ma risk level no kosro.
Nti one maka say enema a wo be ya wo risk level e be kosro mainly is talking
okay
mainly is sneezing mainly is coughing aha because one year and now breathing say 1 year san nyoma we are the particles or the virus cannot come from your mouth or the mouth of an infected person into the environment aha into these are the things into say wo ko baby you can assess say how much talking will be in the environment how much cough ebia obi area obebowa and as you can so that you protect yourself by wearing the necessary by taking the necessary precautions and then you can step out fully into uko ye I mean how many people are at the funeral place into na you say anka sorry ebeya yen limit 200 and na we hu eye ye be chiechi ayen same people are not wearing the nose mask and all of this and this is very this is what because because of the physical distancing into no handshake nothing where this is it a whatever it is whatever scene it is either it's a church service you see the numbers of people that are crowded in the church service into sebeya but I mean I am a Christian and I have heard a lot of the religious arguments. Na say okoka say mema ye nkwa sorry I be ka say wo dia we antichrist. I mean I beg. But sometimes church for no they have a justification because I mean say we be market o si ye betimi akodwom we be schools o si ye betimi akọ school o si ye betimi ayeye ene ne nkrofo ni na ene adanti na yentimi so enko sorry so sometimes there seem to be some level of justification but
we so your burial
I mean so obia say nose mask obia and say nose mask ewo honum and we are very close to one another as far as the gathering is as far as the gathering is concerned and addition to COVID which is
another one so
this is also the hairdressing salon this is another area
mask on gloves
so this is a moderate risk area
and where the risk no
okay but you see the physical distancing it's not being applied. The hairdresser ni nose mask. Ni awako ni nche nose mask. No gloves. About zero or so this is a moderate to high risk area. Okay. Inti anka se hairdresser ni nose mask. This is another barbering salon. Ti se si me nko salon bio mi ankasa na mi yi ankasa na mi ti e wo fie I mean so these are some of the
but the papa mu anka wo ha che we mu de wa she o ndi
we dey ye be fa ni sa
okay but o she mask no an she gloves no so it said we ma ye okay because in sanana
inti the rule is that say won she gloves no anka wo she gloves ayeye but say won share gloves and na say you can wash your obetimi ahohoro wonsa with the hand sanitizer regularly and in between the processor because it limits or reduces the risk of transmission.
Okay. Enti ana we so doc we so ka said dey wo koye ho activity no we so mo a gym.
So this is a
obi anso nche a mask or gym ho.
So this is another low or moderately risky area, because obi anche nose mask, the level of protection is virtually minimal or negligible. And there is the contact as far as the people who are in there is concerned. It is a whole judge risk. Look at the level of protection. And then look at the numbers of people in the place.
But another one's in a place in the restaurant.
This is another area. And I say won't mean say nose mask in didi. Niebe ye mask. Intina ye say anka se be ya restaurant ni baby say no. Mema omumbie. But we be ni take away. We be ni take away.
But say nko da ho ye we. Omo tena o didi o.
Eno ni asem no. Because we share amaya omo allow some of these things their COVID numbers no conform.
Omo man conform tina restaurant.
No, omo say your friend no easing restrictions. Omo ma embrano akofom so that
COVID Texas say
no, some of those countries it is bad, but there are other countries like Korea and other countries where the numbers are declining. It is a who say wo numbers no kofomu a eno na wo betimi ahya say wo easy restriction. Ebia wo beka say okay, you betimi ebie restaurant, but there should only be one person at a table. If you want 4 people at a table, they should be from the same family. Ebia beka say wo betimi akọ gym, but there should only be one person per trainer. And then there should be a then you can begin to ease the restrictions. That is who say okay no eba for mo our numbers no eba for mo.
But yen o kan say ye de na ye mistake ko ye de kwa na e ko slow. As you easy.
Ye de eno ni asem no, because endra na ye number ya about 21,000 as far as the but the good
and then answer so ye nya single highest infection rate in a day, almost 1,000.
I mean we were doing a lot of things right, but unfortunately it looks like to say COVID one here now. But I mean, speaking as a public health person, I think say we have to step up. And yes baby no as a country no ye nyina yempe, because wo hwe niaye na sometimes it is very scary akumatu. And your health workers now or more hospitals, we may end up putting all of them at risk or endangering their lives. Inti yenye juma or asopiti ne nkrofo no. As I say yenhwe niaye ye. Let us observe all the precautions that we have to, so that we don't put our colleagues who are in the hospitals at risk.
Doc, enko registration, we say yempo say the Supreme Court ruling na be ye no. Ye say intro di info for say the ba betimi ato aba ye January. Basa bia ma na mo doctors nso monya asomdwe dia ye adwuma. Na registration centers bi te say the hu wo TV so yi. Inside ha de utum say COVID requirement ye adwuma, social distancing e kama. But baby, baby omucho di na chi no. Na nipa na kwa ebebre ho. For instance here on the baby electoral commission dey omo ahoma na say no yara ho kra no inside na echi no na nipa bebe go nti say aye ko tro din dey na yenye no so esuro pa me say misro ntime say me twen
nti ni aye be I mean is simple and all that Endra Ghana Health Service omo boss e kan bi ni aye be me Sesiano, I yet to say law enforcement because Ghana ya pass executive instruments. It makes the wearing of face mask mandatory. Executive instrument in nature say obia enche face mask and a nose mask. Inti niebe ya ye nyina ye be reduce the rate of infections. No, I feel say ye abambo for no police for ne nkro for no. They should ensure that this particular EI is enforced to the maximum. Who pay na se won share face, madam fubi ewo Korea, one of the Koreas, I've forgotten whether south or north. Okay, me say, Elom, I have say, no, say, who Pia, when you are stepping out onto your corridor, as I said, we say, face mask. It is very mandatory. Into your case count, it's less than 5,000. Their national prevalence. And their population is way more than us. Into there will have to be some level of enforcement of the safety precautions, especially the face mask for public places like the electoral areas. Now you enforce the physical distancing protocols. I mean, say with the red tape, there should be a means of ensuring say omwa egu etire ho no mu nyina no at least either say obema omwa kofie and then omubeba another day. Yen find bibia ebe ensure say we are adhering to the physical distancing protocols. I mean, and yes, the numbers number form. If we continue with acts like this, our numbers, it will take a very long time for our numbers
to come down.
Our numbers to come down. Okay, US, their daily infections since Monday is 50,000 every day from Monday. 50,000 in the United States. I mean, it is, but other countries have showed us say if we are able to adhere to the necessary precautions, the numbers we can see a decline, and then virtually COVID will be out of the way. Personally, as a public health person, Omoka said COVID is going to be with us. I don't agree. Because it had never been with us.
Yes.
It is here. I will say because of enyoma ayeye. If we are excellent, say you're disciplined enough, COVID no ebeko. It is only a matter of time. I mean, it is a disruption. That one, there is no two ways. A disruption, but we have to discipline ourselves and ensure that we live by the safety precautions, and then the disease will go away. But we are, say, I mean, COVID. Now we should learn to live with the disease. No, please. That one, I seriously beg to differ.
Me spirits now they kasa na pay me because I say ekumo bi kra yemfa me wa eno so obi wo fa se ana obi wo fa na obi ejapade na okono.
Exactly. Because the 129 people no say there are faces to all the people who have become infected. So who are ebusuani mu a you will understand and appreciate how painful it is to lose a loved one to COVID. And some now you can say, I mean, let's learn to live with the disease, etc. I am sure it is part of what is causing the complacency amongst the population. So, I mean, let us yenjai sa when I mean, COVID, I mean, it has come to stay and etc. What? No, I mean, it does not.
No, because I mind baby malaria near there kebini ho. Ometi me eradicate measles entobro. Ghana credu baby nke kaketu baby nke eradicate no nti ye betimi ayi amana ye. It is about being disciplined. Let us be truthful to ourselves, our communication, and I think I fault our communication too, because say don't preach fear, preach preach calm,
not fear. Inti enono amankrofo abeye complacent. Say COVID COVID but me Saturday Madam Fu yes, because of COVID.
Into me nka se nyehwe.
Into me nka se nyehwe. Into sansem na ye kan no ye njai se wo ye se John ebusuani. Na se ye be catch say nyehwe. I mean wo be born nipa kro na so. Into let us be mindful of our communication. I agree say ye pretty calm, not fear, but there should be some level of balance, and your communication should be such that it makes people conscious of the dangers of the disease. So that omubetimi take the necessary initiative to ensure their safety and then the safety of their neighbors. That is very key. And yes, I say near Koidi, I say young Konkwa.
Dog. But I say no I can because even some level of fear so who am money pa ye I want to say the about times and about the second diagram or to me I am she do Tim hey.
That is the thing. Why
unim say ubetimi aka normal fabra na unim se ade ni nyana ebe pra na ebetimi awo nani ebetimi kwa akwo ne ba bi na akunu nti wodi ayem hye se to de bia me no ya adwen dog na nkofo afa normal sa na omo na ko bi enkuyen na bibifo nkan dog I'm happy say wodi ni breakers asem we but before be ko betimi amayen risk areas no yam bobo risk areas no so biom
enti ebi so I mean we have discussed a number of, like the market areas, yes, which is a very high risk area because of the number of people who are there. Inti mamenka biom say who determine risk areas no obehwe one kasa or level of precaution first, and then as against the environment you are going. Secondly, obehwe baby awoko inti e bia market area like we are seeing. This is a very high risk area. But interest mema ye nkodwem te se nia maka no. Se wo bekwa, it should be very necessary that you are going. And then se wo kwa, wo sanitizer she wo bag mu, wo she wo nose mask. Wo ye bibi kakra na wa hohoro nsa. The other way him fan jam and musical event. We say I mean say wo jam ya. It is very difficult to cover your nose or cover your face. Inti niebeye bia se nimpa baako and say our infection positivity is about 5%. Inti se we 5 out of 100 COVID positive Ghana has say. Inti we have to be very careful. Inti a musical event like this is a very high risk area.
DJ now present we see
a stadium. Yes, DJ no.
So will be now TNT microphone
that is the problem.
Invitation to treat.
That is the problem. That is the problem. And as sports, Interna league now started, they are discouraging crowds from coming to the stadium because this is another high risk area as far as the rate of infection. As far as the rate of infection is concerned.
Okay, we have talked Choco Beach, you know.
Excellent. We have talked about the beach already. Into all of this, and then the other moderate to high risk, even players now mobile ball, no, it is also a risky event, but it's a moderate to high risk event. Into now, in starting the league, they tested everybody, player and every official so that anyone who was positive was removed or isolated, and then those who are negative went to play the match.
Supporters in the stadium.
No supporters on stadium. Internal school for now and the schools. It is a very high risk area. I mean, I'm speaking as a public health person. I mean, as a public health person, the school environment is a very high risk area because students, do you expect them to wear nose mask in their dormitories when they are sleeping? And I mean, the aerosols spread. And there are over 30,000 particles in the environment. I may call schools, so I cannot tell how secured and safe the environment have been designed.
Social distancing, but dormitory now say we SHS 3 for ne pen picture we say you confirm for your girls
so into way
social distance physical distance be any but so almost a mask
there but the contacts into that is it into I mean we are mindful of how the disease spreads, which is coughing, which is sneezing, which is breathing, and then what was the last one I said? Into we are mindful of any kasa talking. Into as much as possible. No say who pia, who behwe baby amekwe kasa dodo sen ene ewo ho no. Contacts dodo sen ene amekwa into oye we nyina wan kasa wo betimi aye o risk analysis ewo wotrim ena wan kasa nso me di mfesen because ye hu say ya yereben na ewo me ho because ye hu say omo a ewu pa no eye mpenimfo from 60 years and above but ye data na Ghana Health Service share no nkrofo 50 years ewu 35 years ewu even 9-year-olds ewu
9-year-old back
into ye data no but it is still in the aged population 60 years and above it is a maybe 60 na say we say me nkoye bibi in a gathering na I mean you have to assure me pa say master baby I would make kono there is physical distancing that is there. Everybody is wearing a nose mask and I am also wearing my nose mask and then the risk of me being infected is as low as possible. But and yes the way we are going, you know, I mean it will be it will take us a very long time for COVID to be out in our country.
Doc, my mena was a papa when education ode amaye no Doc Elom Echi a member of the COVID-19 response unit or Yedma Kolebu Teaching Hospital and watch mu ko baby ahwe hu yo en ko fan so na madam fo ma menom no na madam fo sister ku akoye sister ku so ne fie na so fie me kra de na beyond medicine no me se obi afie no ba bia me fie a abafo ho no me shedade shingad ho ahwe ye asembe ye tin kokra na fie na dwene ho se de do kwa aka no ukodwom she mask for sanitizer paper ho enkodi nkrofo achi enka so obi konti me so me ko ayi a ye ja ichia abusiafo enkora na wo school no kra na ye dwene wo mo kese se de prof GS boss abechie mu no wo mo wo akwanche wo anka nurse fo ebe ye adwuma ne beto asa nkomo we say so aseda enkoma doctor na ye se onyankopon so bambo ma pom de adwuma fo wo mo ye adwuma ya sabia aka ni nyina se covid empare wo se ebi bekoso aka wo mo bebi eduro ne ho a wo mo koso nya adwuma ma Ghana ne mo ahwe ye no ye mfa nya adwuma ye ba sesi anafe ye de amanyo sem na hye so ne ye ba behwe ne ma bebe NDC running mate still trendy sa issues e behwe CSO civil society groups bi atwokrata de akwa omampani se onu so hwe ye na do melevu asem omampani se chincha papa ne nko leave papa no so say masa nya wo na abechem se mi nko leave ebi kura wo no mo nko leave no sa asem no so trendy nti e bekọ sa asem no so any covid nse mi asa Ghana age ensem ye ba afa ye de aka na beto asam